Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Jello. Today we're going to be discussing good attitude in your band practice on your daily routine. Also, let's get into a little, I like to watch a little bit of documentaries and music documentaries. So we'll be discussing that right here on your boy Jello. Let's go!
Tired and lonely and nothing to say. I'm trying to be the way I should be.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Jello right here, coming from you live in Bethel, Connecticut. And we're doing a little bit of prepping up for this week's show. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Angelo Hunter, a.k.a. the Inspiration Hunter, and your boy Jello. And I am dedicated to my music, or just playing music, being musically engaging with people, motivation in life, because I'm also a coach, a personal trainer, if you will. So today's topics are very, 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 can be very simple. It can also be quite annoying when you're involved with being in a band, or maybe you've got a dance troupe you're with, or maybe you're a solo artist and you're just dealing with, club owners and things of that nature. And the reason why I chose to start off with the attitude thing is because there are spots in life where you get in a situation where you're just trying to be easygoing, and there's always one person in the group that doesn't like your attitude, or maybe it's their attitude. So the way I navigate myself through this little quandary of mess here is that, it's that time again, so let's get into this, right? Attitude. Having a good attitude and giving yourself and your bandmates a little bit more of a peace of mind is probably where everything needs to start from, where everything needs to gel from. If your attitude's not right going into the project, you're probably not going to be together very long. I've seen that firsthand, been through that, done it. Sometimes it's you, so sometimes you need to just take a quick look at yourself. All right, and also, be open-minded, just like we talked about in a little test run that we did a couple days ago. All right, and you should have, I always like to say, there's like little jewels when you put a group together. Whether it's a duet, a power trio, a quartet, or just a big band, right? Each individual person has to have a tool set besides their instrument. Each person should have an element to bring to the table besides them being just a good musician. What do I mean by that? It's very simple, very simple. We need one person that's we would like to call them the manager type, someone it's easy for them to get in touch with club owners, or maybe they have a background in business, or maybe they're just really, really good at just doing guerrilla marketing and just being in front of people and don't really care. And with that being said, it's usually someone who's a little bit older than you, or about the same age as you, and somebody who's been in the industry or been doing this for a long time. That would be the first person, right? Manager type. Somebody who can keep the band gelled together even when the shit it's not going the way it should be. Excuse my language. The second individual is more likely to be someone who can keep the situation light, right? Words are great. We love to talk to each other, but sometimes we fall in that trap of hurting people's feelings. So we need somebody that's going to be the straight edge. Right? The straight edge, or like I call it, the razor, right? Can cut through all the BS, can say what they mean without hurting anybody's feelings. That's what you need. That's the number two person, right? And it could be any person in the band. You'll eventually figure it out. Number three, and now I'm looking at like a band of more than three people. So number three is you need someone that's going to have to take a step back and keep things in check. right? Somebody is the skeptic. You need a skeptic in there, all right? It's not a bad thing to have a skeptic. You just need somebody to keep it real, especially if you're in a good group and your heads get a little too swelled. You know, you've had a couple of good gigs, you've been out for a while, things are going good. You can't really depend on that stuff, so you need to have that skeptic, right? The one who asks all the questions. There's no bad question when you have a skeptic. Number 4. I like this one because it's kind of like where I am in almost every group. I have good days, I have bad days. But you need somebody who's the comedian or the comic relief or the one to keep things lighthearted when everybody's taking themselves too serious. All right? I take pride in being that because I know that when you're singing up front, and I'm not always singing in front, this time around in my new project, the project that I was so grateful to get, is now being the front man. So to be the front man, don't be a prick. Be supportive, all right? And number 5, we'll stop at number 5 because, you know, this is just a big mix of somebody. And you need, number 5 is the nurturer, right? We need the nurturer. Somebody who's, and by the way, anybody in the band can be a nurturer. The comedian can be a nurturer. The band manager can be a nurturer. The straight edge guy can be that buffer. But that's what you're looking for, all right? Let's move on to the next topic. And that is, this comes up a lot actually. And I was asked this the other day. And I've seen this posted on Facebook before. If you're in a band, and specifically a cover band, because I know there's folks that like to do both originals and covers. But they're like, what would you rather be doing? Would you rather be doing cover band material or originals? And I said both. And the reason why I said both is because if you can find a connection within your list of music, your set list as a musician or entertainer, and you can connect with that piece of music, 85 to 90% of the time, you're going to have, you get what I like to call a winning edge, or being able to be positive on stage. Now, what do I mean by that, being positive on stage? Very simple. If you're not connected to the music that you're singing, the audience is going to feel that. Now, yes, of course, there's going to be songs as a whole, if you have input to the music that you're playing, that not everybody's going to like, but they know it's something that the crowd likes, right? So you can kind of fake your way into the enthusiasm of that piece of music. And the way you do that is you just don't play it the same way all the time, right? And take note, a cover band is not a tribute band, all right? When you do a cover band, and this is just my own opinion from experience over a decade or whatever, over 2 decades, is making sure that there's connection with the music. If there's no connection to your music, then why bother playing, all right? Forgive me, I like to go on tangents too because I always get these ideas as we're doing this stuff. But making sure that you're connected to the music. And then pepper in your originals as you guys get more comfortable with the idea of playing original material. Half the time when you're playing original material, you'll get a good feedback, good response anyways, because the people that are listening to it don't know it's an original unless you exclaim at the end that it's an original. A lot of the time when I play my own stuff or old pieces from back in the day, the 90s rock stuff, it's all about creating the evolution of the song with a new group, right? You can redo old music. Like I said in the last audio podcast, repurpose your music as many ways as you can. And that's what I've been working on and trying to work on in the last couple of days, weeks, months, and slowly organizing that. All right. We're just moving along. We're cooking here. And the other thing that comes up in conversation with other musicians that I've talked to is being entertaining and engaging, right? Now, I understand nobody likes to have a lyric book out in front of them, especially rock bands. You can't have a lyric book out in front. You can get away with like a little screen as long as you're not deadpanning the screen. that's the problem. If you're just standing there and you're looking and you're doing like karaoke and the band's rocking out and you're standing there being a stiff, you're probably not going to last long in that group or in that environment because you're not actively in the moment. Now, again, this is my own opinion because I've been in these spots before, and I'm sure many of you have been in these spots before in things that you do. Maybe you're so into the tune that you forgot to stop or you forgot to run or something like that. Now, I would say don't beat yourself up because especially if something like that happens during a performance, what do? You entertain because most of the time the audience is engaged by watching you. They're not engaged, they're not reading your mind and knowing that, oh my God, I missed the word the, or, missing words and missing music or missing little nuances in the big grand scheme of things. Out of the 40 or 50 songs that you play, eventually you're going to be playing these songs hundreds and hundreds of times, right? So this is going to happen automatically, and it just becomes automatic. So with that being said, you have to stay engaged with the audience. Now, I don't like to telegraph during practice. All right, I've been in many bands. If it is a tribute band, then yes, you need to telegraph in it. And what I mean by telegraphing is that maybe there's something specific to the tribute band that you're in that individual did or that band did that got the crowd to get crazy, right? Like a lot of I forgot the guitarist used to spin the guitar around his body, and it became like a big like glam rock thing after a while. There's one specific guy. I think Rudy Sarzo used to do it with his bass a lot. A guy played, the bass player from Ozzy. And it took off. Steve Vai, I think, used to spin it, right? And it's just one of those little things. That's the cover. That's the, if you're doing a tribute thing. Cover band stuff is make it your own, right? You're not trying to sound exactly like the band. You want to sound like the music. You want to give them 100% effort of you, not 100% effort of, if you're doing a Scott Weiland song from Stone Temple Pilots, you're not going to be Scott Weiland, but pay homage to the musician or the band that you're singing, right? Pay homage to them. Without that music, you probably wouldn't have a gig, right? Just because of, the viability of being an original artist, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. But I think it's important to play other people's music that inspires you, that brings a message. Which brings us to the next topic. Having a message. Now, what the hell do I mean by having a message? Especially if you're doing cover music. And I understand that. But like I said previously, when you are engaged in learning a song and the nuances, depending on how you do it. I'm a drummer by trade, so I'm always listening to the rhythm. And the nuances come maybe 2 or 3 times after that, where I actually can focus on the background vocals, the notes that are being layered and peppered in through the song. But playing with the message that hits you, right? And I don't mean, standing up on stage and preaching about politics and yada, yada, yada. But recognizing that whatever song that you're doing might have a certain meaning to someone out there, right? Right? So if you're singing Cohen's song, Hallelujah, right? That's probably going to hit somebody right in the heartstrings, right? How are you going to convey that message? How are you going to portray that song? What little things are you going to do to make it different? How are you going to make it yours without creating a mess of the song, right? So what I'm saying is that you can create your own message through other people's music, right? And the reason why I use that song specifically because it means a lot of stuff to a lot of different people. Sometimes you lost a person or your loved one or had a bad week or something tragic happened to you, right? Something that connects with them. Something might have happened to you during the week. And then you get on stage and it pops up into your head. All right? And that's also part of playing with the message is also staying connected with the band too. Maybe you get to your last rehearsal before the show and you say, I'm going to like I told my brothers and sisters in Downpour, I'm gonna introduce us right here. So we're gonna lead the song, let the song kind of marinate a little bit in the beginning, and then when we get done introducing, we go right into it, right? So that's one of those things. Playing with the message, something that tugs at your heartstrings, makes you feel good. Ooh, we're getting close here. We're coming down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen, here on UR BOY GELO. Again, this is Angelo Hunter, the Inspiration Hunter, if you're just joining me, on the Spreaker Studio app. And this will be, hopefully, I'm looking to do this like bi-weekly. Hopefully gonna make sure I get some other folks that are in the creative industry, from actors, musicians, chefs, things of that nature, other entertainers, people that make other people happy and excited and give them hope. And that's really what being a creative is, right? Bringing the fire and passion and giving the hope to others. And that's what we're trying to do with UR BOY GELO. New stuff, exciting stuff, music stuff, poetry stuff, all kinds of delicious stuff. Here we go, y'all. And for those of you that do know me, you know that I like music documentaries. That's kind of been a thing of mine for, probably the latter 10 years. I would say really starting. There comes a point where you start to read more, you start to study more. So I'm going to give you some recommendations out. Things that I think, if you are a session musician, if you're a session musician, you know how hard it is. You could go in and get a job or play for whatever, from between 5 minutes, lay down a track, to be in the studio for an hour, and you get one little buy credit on the album. People don't realize it. I know, and I know you guys know other guys, maybe in the area, people you've met, that you've talked to, and they've played in really big bands, and now they're doing studio stuff, doing little tours, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you want. But the thing is that you always have to practice your craft, right? Don't get a big head. More times than not, they're going to go with the person with the better attitude and the person that they feel is going to gel with the project. Unless you are in the top 10%, which is not that many, depending on where you're at. Because a lot of guys play a lot of different instruments now, so there's not usually one person who plays something better, and there's always somebody better. That's the other thing. The movie that I would like to recommend, and some of you have probably seen it, it came out in 2016. It's about 90 minutes, pretty awesome. It goes over stuff from hair metal to now, all these musicians that you don't even hear about, and the movie's called Hired Gun. I recommend it. Awesome. Even if you're not a musician, if you're just into music, definitely watch it. You'll see people in there that you know from Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne, Lita Ford. I mean, it's totally amazing. And you get to see some of the musicians that have played on some of these albums that you probably didn't even know, because you don't see them. Did you know that Toto, the guitarist from Toto, played most of the guitar tracks on the Michael Jackson Thriller album? Crazy. I mean, I actually knew that, but I thought that's a little nugget that you might want to check out. Another great or excellent movie I would recommend would be Drive, Play, and Sleep. This is for all my friends that are indie artists, all of my friends that are writing original music, all my friends that have been on the road or have traveled to play somewhere other than their local bar scene or in the state of Connecticut. It's about I would say they're in their 20s, mid-20s. They're definitely younger than me. But they do I think they're up to 500 shows. I mean, this is done 2017, so this is about only a couple years old. And it's basically them documenting themselves, going out, getting gigs. They don't have a manager. They show you the ups and downs, the highs, the lows. Now, I'm not saying to watch this to discourage you. I'm actually telling you to watch this to encourage you, because I think when you share and share your music and passion with others, I think that's what you want to do. Years ago, 10 years ago, I almost completely gave up the whole game just because didn't think I was good enough. Thought I would never play again, and I just wasn't looking for people that were interested. So for all of you guys that are out there busting your stones, go watch Drive, Play, and Sleep. It's a story about a band you've never heard of, but it's a great story, and I think those of us that are in music and playing music to others should, it gives you perspective on the whole gig thing and the traveling thing. And I've had friends that have toured before, and it's not easy. People think that it's this glamorous life. It's hard work. A lot of the time you're not even eating good food or staying in places that are great either, unless you've got a Winnebago or a van. So that's it. Drive, Play, and Sleep, and Hired Gun. And one little bonus one, I'll just keep this one real short before we end the show here. Life, Blood, and Rhythm of Randy Castillo. Now, if you don't know who Randy Castillo, I'm a drummer, so you kind of have to know who Randy Castillo is if you're a drummer. He was a Native American guy from New Mexico, came out and just busted up the scene back in the 80s into the late 90s with Lita Ford and Ozzy Osbourne. I believe he played with Ozzy for 8 to 10 years or something. Then he got really sick, and very sad story, but a very, very empowering and encouraging story. What that guy was able to do in a short amount of time is absolutely amazing. It just shows if you just stick yourself out there and just bust your butt. And I don't mean grind. Bust your butt by learning your craft and learning from others and staying open. That's the way to do it. Once again, you guys have been awesome. This is your boy Jello, and I would just like to say thank you so much for listening to The Inspiration Hunter, your boy Jello. Peace, love, much respect. You can find me at Facebook, your boy Jello, at your boy Jello. Tweet me. You can tweet me, your boy Jello. Find me on Facebook, at your boy Jello, and The Inspiration Hunter, a.k.a. Angelo Hunter. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Music provided by Original Music, Funk Nasty CT. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, come check out Downpour NY this March 8th, 10 o'clock. We start at Pete's Saloon. Come dig us. Come give us some love and some hugs. Come rock out with us. I would also like to thank Live Pure, People United, reaching everyone products. I enjoy your energy drinks and whole healthy living. If you want more information, reach out to Angelo at yourboygello, URBOYGELO @gmail.com. And we'll see you on the flip side. Much love, much respect. See you in the next show. Thanks a lot. Peace.